IELTS Classic Listening Comprehensive Test 1.
Instructions. 1. You will listen to an audio recording of all sections of this test and answer questions on what you hear. 2. You will have some time to look at the questions before listening to the audio recording of that section or subsection. 3. The audio will start playing immediately after familiarizing yourself with section questions. 4. You will be answering questions as you listen to the audio because it will be played only once. 5. Immediately after the audio recording for all sections, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Dinner plan. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between Mary and John making plans on when Mary will visit John and have dinner with him, and what John is likely to prepare on that day for dinner. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 1 to 5. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Hi, Mary. Do you fancy coming around to dinner sometime this week?
That sounds lovely, though I'm busy at the start of the week. I will be free on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening.
Great. Let's make it Sunday at 8 p.m. then.
Oh sorry, I've just remembered that I've got a meeting on Sunday and won't finish until 7 p.m. So, there's no way I'll make it at 8 p.m.
Shall we make it 8:30 then? Would that be better?
Yes. I'm sure I'll be able to make it at that time.
That sounds good. Let us think of the menu for the event. My best choice could be cheesecake with chicken roast.
Well, I did go through a vegetarian period a while ago but not anymore. However, I have just discovered that I'm lactose intolerant, so I must avoid any milk products, cheesecake inclusive.
Oh, that's alright. I'll just do a chocolate cake for dessert then.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 6 to 10. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
I hope to be on time because of the long-distance drive from the meeting place.
16 miles is short distance. I don't think it is a cause to worry about.
Oh my God. It is not that short. It is 5 miles more than that.
For normal traffic, that would usually take about 25 minutes. However, give an allowance for traffic because of the Friday rush.
Sorry to be a bother. Something else just came to my mind. Do you have a parking place for my car?
Don't worry, it will be all fine. You'll need to park your car a few doors down because there's building work going on next door and our part of the parking space is occupied.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Would you like to have some walk thereafter or do you prefer taking alcoholic or soft drinks?
I think I will prefer the latter since I will be exhausted after a long day.
It's okay, I will take your choice too.
Is there anything else we need to think about for this plan?
Maybe not, but don't forget to carry your inhaler with you.
All right. See you then.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will have to make a short errand to the grocery store before it is closed.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 1 to 10. Section 2. You will hear a tour guide giving an overview of the history of the Ukunda Farming Village Museum. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Ukunda Farming Village. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the Ukunda Village Museum. First, I'd like to give you a quick overview of the history of the museum before you go off and have a look around on your own. Okay, if you look over here to your left, you can see the river that runs on the left side of the village. Availability of fresh water was a major attractive reason for the establishment of the farm. The river was therefore an important resource. The woods beyond the river are another reason, as they provided both fuel and shelter. In these ways, the site was very suitable for agriculture from an early time, and in fact, there is historical evidence that a farm in some form or another has been located here since the early 18th century, and the landowner at that time was a Mr. Simon Jason. Local archives contain data of the land use, and it is noted that livestock was kept in the fields over here between the river and the woods. Over 400 animals including rabbits, geese, and ducks were kept here at the time the data was recorded in 1941. There were also indications of presence of pets like dogs and cats.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 16 to 20. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Okay, I'm going to give you the site plan. First, I'd like to point out where everything is before you wander around for yourself for the rest of the visit. The straight line on the left of your plan is a river, and you should be able to see it. The arrow is at the bottom of your plan at the entrance, and immediately to the right is the ticket office. You don't need to visit there because you've got yours, but just past it is the toilets, and it is useful to know where they are. To the left of the entrance gate is the gift shop. You can buy guidebooks and souvenirs there. Straight ahead, the big rectangular building at the end of the farm, directly opposite the main entrance as you walk through, is the workshop. That's where the farm machinery is repaired. The store is the building right of the workshop. It's a big building, slightly at an angle. If you look again at the gift shop on our left, the building next to that is the engine room, a long building. The building with 6 sides is a cafe, a new building, but you'll be pleased to know that they serve very nice old-fashioned drinks and meals. So, I think that's everything. You're now free to move around, but if anyone would like to join me for a guided tour, I'll be starting from the main entrance in 20 minutes.
That is the end of Section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 11 to 20. Section 3. You will hear a conversation between the university secretary and a student who wants to join Edgerton University. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 21 to 25. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Hi, I'd like to inquire about the application process.
I can help you with that.
Have you filled out an application form?
How can I do that? I would love to.
Now, let's begin with some questions about your personal details, and I will give you the application form to complete.
Sure.
What's your first name?
I am Laura.
And your surname?
Oching, that's Ochieng.
Did I hear right that the last three letters of your name are ENJ?
No. I said ENG is the last letters of my surname.
Got it. And what's your address?
469, Homo Bay County.
What's your postcode?
40300.
And your telephone number?
072435674.
Fine. Do you have any form of identification?
Oh. I do have a national identification card. Will that do?
Yes, that's fine. What's your national ID number?
It's 323-06452. Do you need to see it?
Yes, and I need to make a photocopy too.
There you go.
Right, thanks. And lastly, tell me your date of birth, please.
1st of June 1996.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 26 to 30. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Great. So that's what I need for the application form. Now, have you had a chance to look at the different courses we offer at Edgerton University?
Yes, I had a quick look online.
Great. So, which course are you interested in at the university?
Well, the Bachelor of Education, although I had earlier on planned to enroll in the science degree. What do you advise?
I suppose your earlier plan could be better because that course is more marketable.
I thought so, and, in that case, let me retain it.
Fine. If you change your mind, you can always let me know later, and I'll update your application.
I think I will still retain that choice.
Are you sure?
That's it, I think.
Well, as I said, if you change your mind, just let me know.
Do I need to pay anything now or later?
Oh, and I nearly forgot, the application fee is 2,500 shillings, and you can pay via M-Pesa. Pay bill number is 675643.
Do I need to sign the application now?
Yes, but it will take 3 days to process, and then it will take 2 or 3 days to get to you by post.
Well, I'll have to be patient about it then.
Okay, may you have a good day, and I hope you will join as soon as you embark on your studies.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 21 to 30. Section 4. You will hear a talk on the topic of volcanic eruption. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 31 to 34. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Volcanic eruptions. A volcanic eruption is when lava and gas are released from a volcano and the freshly erupted magma flows down the sides of a volcano. The formation cone-shaped mountain referred to as volcano results from the cooling and hardening of lava. Most of the volcanoes in the world are found around the edges of tectonic plates, both on land and in the oceans. On land, when one tectonic plate moves under another, it forms a volcano. When a thin, heavy oceanic plate moves under a thicker continental plate, the ocean plate sinks into the mantle. The process leads to squeezing out of the water that is usually trapped in the rocks. As a result, the rocks melt and turn into magma, which is lighter than the surrounding rock. This magma collects in magma chambers, but it is still lying below the surface. Volcanic eruptions result when the magma builds up and forces its way up to the surface. In the ocean floor, the spreading of two plates called a mid-ocean ridge creates cracks through which volcanic eruption occurs. Magma from the upper mantle of the earth rises to fill these cracks. The cooling of lava leads to the formation of new crust on crack edges. These mid-ocean ridges are long chains of underwater volcanoes that circle the planet.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 35 to 40. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Different types of volcanoes differ according to features such as height, shape, and slope steepness. There are composite volcanoes that are made of felsic to intermediate rock. Volcanic eruptions are influenced by the viscosity of the lava. Viscosity is the ability of a liquid to be resistant to flow. In concept, liquids with higher viscosity do not flow easily because they are thicker, and the reverse is true. The viscosity of magma depends on its composition and temperature. In magma, the silica content determines the viscosity. Magma with higher silica content has a higher viscosity and vice versa. Temperature-wise, the hotter the lava, the lower the viscosity, and the reverse is true. The low viscosity of the lava means that eruptions of these volcanoes are likely to be explosive. Examples of these volcanoes are Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, Mount Rainier in Washington State, Mount Hood in Oregon, Mount Shasta in California, and Mount Helena in Australia. Cinder cone volcanoes derive their name from their shape that looks like a cone. They are the most common types of volcanoes but are usually smaller than composite volcanoes. They develop in two different ways. First, they can grow around new vents on the slopes of existing shield volcanoes. Secondly, they can develop on their own as independent volcanoes. The cone is a pile of loose particles since they are solidified by the time they hit the ground in resemblance to sand dunes. Examples include Paracatine in Mexico, Lava Butte in Oregon, and Newberry Volcano in Oregon. Shield volcanoes derive their names from their resemblance to a warrior's shield. They are usually very large, although they are not steep as such. Multiple flow points of the lava cause a gently sloping surface. Examples of shield volcanoes include Siswa in Kenya, Mauna Loa in Hawaii, and Silali in Kenya. Determining the timing of an eruption in a monitored volcano depends on measuring several parameters, including the depth and frequency of volcanic earthquakes, ground deformations, and gas emissions. Sampling the amount of sulfur dioxide gas emitted by a correlation spectrometer may be used to predict the timing of an eruption. This is done by sampling the amount of sulfur dioxide gas emitted from the volcano. It's a more objective method of predicting an eruption.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 31 to 40. Then have 10 minutes to transfer all your answers to the answer sheet.
Thank you for trusting Glovinets for your learning needs. This audio was designed and presented by the information technology experts of Clarion Technology. Clarion Technology offers services including website design, e-learning content, voiceover, animations, e-commerce solutions, mobile apps, hospital management software designs, and many exciting IT solutions. For more information, contact us on www.clarenwebmasters.com or email us on info@clarenwebmasters.com.